Sinners is back in the conversation. They won like 4 awards recently at the Critics' Choice Award. They won for story, they won for youngest performer, they won for music, and they won for ensemble cast.
It's a textbook execution of a great story.
Blues. Like, when you think about the music, the blues. What is that? That's like a hardship, right? It's pain. That's what the blues is. It came from that. And this film ties into the time period of the Emmett Till.
Hearing this whole other perspective to it, because from my background, you know, knowing I'm from Congo originally, and so a lot of the layers that you caught, in my mind, it read as colonialism.
Is it beautiful how you can watch a film and it has different meanings to different people? That means that you have a good story.
Yeah, blacks trying to move away from being black.
Just boy give somebody okay. Just
that's
The roof is on fire. We don't, and they did it. They did it too. They did it. Right.
So a good title is going to start a conversation. As
Very
a Christian,
intriguing.
as a matter of fact, some Christians be like, "How you Christian? You gonna watch Sinners?"
Oh my goodness.
An alternative title.
Because initially I was thinking Sinners is a horrible title for this film.
Finance. How was it the last song? I'm not super happy with that.
Summons.
Summons?
Summon, like I
Like
summon.
summoning.
Yeah. Summons.
Good news from the day.
Good news from the dead.
What you got?
Maybe the rhythm of silence.
The what?
Rhythm of silence.
The rhythm of silence.
Yeah. Who else can play Stack and Smoke?
Idris.
Idris Elba?
I love that
Dempsey?
Idris. Yes.
Dempsey, the
That's
younger
one
Idris?
the younger one, yeah.
Yeah, he played Michael B. Jordan's dad in Black Panther. I think
Oh,
of his name.
yeah. Sterling.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Who's
He was the
the
father.
action hero now? Who's the mainstream action hero?
I'm a younger
Like a black?
Like, yeah, like,
I'm a younger
we don't have enough of them yet.
Yeah.
Delta Sleep.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
Samuel Jackson absolutely killed that role.
Which one?
Jimmy Fox. Delta Sleep. How about the ladies?
I like Tessa Thompson.
That's the other
They said let's pull the role off. If you want to go older, Viola Davis.
Oh, Cornbread.
Yeah, Cornbread. That one. Is Mike getting an award for this? Did we watch this movie because Mike was in it, or did we watch this movie because it was a Ryan movie?
On how it's a textbook execution of a great story. There's a lot of different things that he did great. We could talk about it for 2 days straight without stopping.
No.
But I think what I was personally impressed with is just the way he was able to layer the objective storyline and the subjective storyline within the script that he stacked underneath that story are just crazy. I mean, you can talk about, from my background, because I'm from Congo, so I can see some layers where I feel like there's hints at colonization in there with the way things are juxtaposed. There's obviously when he talks about just like slavery and just like, I even feel like he talks about freedom and identity and how different influences can make it hard to hold on to what we are true to, on who we actually are, and basically that back and forth, and it's more evident when you look at the way in which when they became vampires in the movie, there was basically the struggle between who they used to be and who they now had to become, and the idea of, because the whole message was like, right, everyone, now we all loving each other, but it was in transitioning into forcing them to become something else.
And he promised them heaven on earth.
And he promised them heaven on earth. And but it was pulling them away from their actual roots, like the blues that was in the beginning, the joy of the culture and who they actually were. And so the fight, for me, when I look at this story, it's so beautiful to see how the entire fight of actually trying to fight the vampires and everything, it's mirror in the fight for basically to stay themselves or to be influenced and to become something that they were not. And so I'm gonna stop there because, again, like I said, I can talk about this for too long.
I know.
But
so
yeah.
It's interesting how you talk about the different eras. You see that juke joint you talked about. You see the different eras in music. You see the hip hop era. You see the blues era. They went straight up to West Africa, and all of that fused into one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just interesting. And Big Spence, I know that you're a filmmaker yourself, and somehow you are able to see beyond what something is saying on the surface level. Maybe you're able to see the deeper messages and all of that. So what do you think this film is saying that everybody is not getting? What's that one
Okay,
thing?
so let's see. It's so much. Okay, so I look at the blues, right? When you think about the music, the blues, what is that? That's like a hardship, right? It's pain. That's what the blues is. It came from that. So when you see the vampires, though, the white vampires, and they're like, hey, heaven on earth. Like, if you think of the culture, the black culture there's been an issue of blacks trying to move away from being black, right? So you got the white guys, the vampires, like, hey, happiness, you can be happy like us, right? So when you think about the world how it is now, they talk about it in whether it's athletes, black athletes who get the white woman, right? Or, it's the more you can straighten your hair, the more you can look less like you and more like me, meaning the white person, then the happier you will become. And I think that was an underlining message throughout that whole film. And this film ties into the time period of the Emmett Till and things of that nature. Because Emmett Till, this was like right after segregation, where parts of the world were still kind of segregated, and Emmett Till goes to Chicago, and he whistles at a white woman at a store, and he gets pulled out of his house. He's a 14-year-old kid. He has no idea. He was just whistling, because whistling is what you do. And the woman at the store felt like he was whistling at her, and she told her family, and they broke into the black house where Emmett Till was visiting for the summer, drug him out, killed him. All right, because you don't whistle at a white woman. He doesn't know that. But my point is, in bringing that up, is it's the time period, it's the period of this film. When you think of this, and then also another movie that was recently came out was A Piano Lesson. Same kind of feel, right? It's the same kind of time period.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and in that movie too, it's like where black people are starting to become something. So in this movie, let's go back to Sinners first.
Let's do
it. So we'll go back to Sinners, and we'll keep skipping around because they're all connected. So Sinners is, you have this juke joint, and people are becoming famous, and you have entertainers there starting to make money, which is Delroy Lindo's character. He's a famous guy in the black culture. Yeah, so they went and got him, and he was like, I don't want to do that. I make so much more money at the white club, right? And they were like, no, we can give you more, right? Because he was already like, I made it. I don't need to do that.
Big Spence is gonna see something we're all not seeing.
So that's where Delroy Lindo's character comes in. He's like, all right, I'm gonna try to help my people out, especially if they gonna pay me more than the white people gonna pay me. So, and that's what I mean as far as the money and how we want to be where the others are.
And do you think it has anything to do with how he ended the story by giving his blood? Like sacrificing himself?
Yeah.
In the end?
Absolutely.
He stabs himself and said, come for me, and everybody was like...
Yeah.
They all went, so I think it's aligned to...
It's definitely, it's exactly
it's more symbolic.
It's exactly that, yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Love it.
You want to say something, David?
Yeah, dead battery.
Dead battery?
Oh, no way.
Oh, no way. I was enjoying that.
It's still on.
It's still on?
It's still on, but it's red.
Oh, man. Let me quickly change the battery.
That was so good. Oh, my God.
Oh. This battery here. Let me see.
That's so crazy how much, the one as I'm listening to you, I'm like, oh my gosh, it feels like I watched that entire different movie.
Yeah.
Because of the perspective that I come from.
Right.
Because, in my perspective, a lot of the things that you talked about, I saw it connected to,
Please hold that thought. Please hold that thought, please.
It is not for the camera.
We're rolling. We're back. We're back in action.
You put it in there that quick?
Yeah, that quick.
Dang. I was watching this Terrence movie, and he looked at the guy, the head boss. He said, "Battery dead."
We back. We back.
Battery dead. Camera's rolling.
Camera's rolling. We're back. Back in transition. So you were saying off the camera that there were some things that you saw afresh. You've watched Sinners how many times? It's the guy that I've watched
5 times.
Like 5 times.
So today was my sixth time, but I was saying it's so crazy as I'm hearing you talk about it. I feel like I'm hearing this whole other perspective to it, because from my background, knowing I'm from Congo originally, and so a lot of the layers that you caught, in my mind, it read as colonialism coming into Africa, and so it felt like a lot of the same lure that happened, right, with the black culture of like, hey, be like us and everything. That's the exact same thing that happened when they colonized the continent. It was like, hey, what you're doing is okay. It's really cool, but dude, this insane.
Money,
How happy
full
we are.
points.
How happy we are. Don't you want to be happy?
Yeah, we have full points.
And this is for a group that is singing about the blues.
Yeah.
You're sad all the time. Come be happy.
Yeah.
Come be part of us.
Is it beautiful how you can watch a film and it has different meanings to different people? That means that you have a good story.
Yeah.
But my question is, you're a writer, and I'm coming back to you because I'm always going to come back to the writer. Sinners, the title Sinners.
Yes.
If you were to give it another title, what would it be?
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure you didn't expect that.
That
question.
is great. That's a good question.
Let's
Oh
think
my
of
God.
let's think of an alternative title to Sinners. An alternative title.
That's a hard one.
That is a very hard one.
Because we're just used to it.
Yes.
We know the story now. If I wrote it, what will I call it? If you wrote it, what will you call it? If you wrote it,
That
what will
is
you call
a
it?
hard question. Oh my gosh. I mean,
Does Sinners fit? Do that name fit the movie? Sinners?
that's the thing. It's hard.
I don't know.
No, because what they did with it is when you write a script
Mm-hmm.
and you give it a name, then you on your second, third draft, you begin to develop scenes that marries the name. So you begin to create a marriage for the name. As you go on, you begin to look. But let's just think about the concept altogether.
Well, so for me, one of the reasons why it's so hard is because I think I do think that Sinners is a great fit for it. Because if you saw the story, like literally the opening scene is in a church.
Yeah.
And in that scene, the confrontation that happens with the dialogue, it's literally the dad saying you need to abandon your sin ways.
Exactly.
And so I do think that it's really and we follow that same character to the entire story. He is our lead in the story. So I do think that it's a great match for that. But also, if you pay close attention to the movie, almost every single character in the movie that matters does something kind of wrong. Like there's no good quote unquote people in the entire story. Like all the characters that we try.
Just
like
morally upright.
like it's very ambiguous morally. Like like
the preacher's boy gives somebody okay. Just
that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something that you've experienced with one of your movies. The name of that movie could have been changed for marketing.
Yeah. That is true.
And
Because that's what I was thinking.
being called something else.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Sinners is such a name that draws people.
But
But
I've been following the project, and honestly, I've been following the project even before it came out. I've been following Coogler when they announced it. In fact, the first artwork I saw about it, I didn't like it.
Really?
Honestly, I didn't like it. It looked too dull. I didn't know what to expect. But the name I was curious.
Yeah,
You know, as
very
a Christian.
intriguing.
As a matter of fact, some Christians be like, "How you Christian? You gonna watch Sinners?" Well,
it's like it's a thing. I remember that. So
a good title is gonna start a conversation.
So I'm gonna talk about that a little bit because I didn't even think about this until you talked about it. At one time, I was going to be a pastor. That's what I was.
Really?
That's what I was. I was a youth leader.
wow.
I spoke my first sermon at 12 years old. Appreciate it. So now I'm an educator, and a lot of my methods are biblical. I don't say God said. I just I talk about whatever I talk about, and it's through God. But when you think about sinners, let's think about the worst thing ever created, which would be Satan, right? He had a job, and his job was what? Does anybody know?
Originally, was
Originally.
to worship
Music.
God.
He was a
music
music,
director.
right? He was the minister of music. That was his job, right? So whenever God walked out, he had orchestra. Like that's what his job was. So I bring that in because at the beginning of the movie, he was in church and his father was like, "Hey, put away your sinning ways," because music makes you do things that you don't even know. And
Takes you places.
It does. So there's a documentary that I saw years ago, The Truth Behind Columbine. Okay, and they were interviewing people, and they interviewed some people in the army, and they said that there's certain music that you can listen to that'll make you walk up and shoot your own mom. And I said, that's crazy. I never thought about that. And then he said, so like their headphones will be connected to the switchboard in the tank. And he said whenever they were in war, or there was some kind of issue going on, the music that he remembered listening to is the roof is on fire. That would always play. And I thought about that when I saw that. I said, that song is crazy. The roof is on fire. We don't need, like, that is not a happy song.
Yeah.
That is a song that'll put you in a mood, right? So when you think about people that there's initiations that gangs have.
Another one it was Nelly asking people to take off their clothes or something like that.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, take off your clothes. And they did it. They did it too. They did it. Right.
Gothic
Yeah.
and that satanic type music,
Yeah.
the heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a concert.
Like screamo.
Yeah.
I didn't understand nothing the dude was saying until I got 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
Because he
Yep.
was screaming out his lyrics so intense, close. I don't know what he was saying.
Yeah.
But when I got 2 blocks away,
Then it
started
registered.
what he said.
Okay, so and here's the thing. As an educator, I know this because I do a lot of studying, and music is the only thing that your conscience cannot ignore. It's the only thing, which means that I can talk to you. I can have a whole sermon or right now, and you can look at me and not even be paying attention. If I put music behind it, your subconscious automatically picks it up.
You see, I was playing Deep Purple when we were coming.
Yes, you are.
And it kept ringing in your mind until we got here. Just that intro.
And that's why a lot of things that you learn has music behind it. Like some people can't even say the ABC songs without singing it. That's why there is jingles behind things that you know because it makes you remember it. I mean, there's a song about the states, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona. Like, there's a lot of songs that you listen to that, like, you didn't like. If I say the best part of waking up, nobody knows.
Wrong audience for that.
Oh,
Sorry.
wrong audience. Okay, you know.
No, but I get
The best part of waking up.
Maybe somebody watching this.
It's Folgers in your cup.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's a jingle. It's like a big time commercial jingle. But I say that, yeah, America. Yeah, I don't know how long you've been here, but it's a big jingle that people. And
But I get it.
My point is that when you hear these jingles, like you didn't study the Folgers album, you didn't study Barney, I Love You, You Love It. You just know it because you hear it so much. It's like you didn't never study it. I can turn the radio right now and I can probably sing. If it's an old song, I can probably sing 90% of the old songs. Because I just listened to love songs so much as a kid growing up.
So music was a tool.
Music is definitely a
But
tool.
because it's dirty, that's why they call it sinners.
Right, because certain music makes you do certain things, and I can speak from experience. I remember
blues and they give somebody.
So I've never been an amazing singer. Okay,
Me too.
However, there was a time when I seduced a woman singing.
Oh,
Right? I did. It worked. I'm gonna tell you, it worked.
Let's go.
And
You gotta teach me how to do
and here's
that.
the thing. Here's the
At
thing.
least I could
is
seduce my
that-
wife.
and here's the thing is that I learned is that there is no satanic D flat or E. Like the notes are notes. It's your intention. It's your intentions on when you do it. You guys know, if you guys ever know the story about Elvis, like he used to play singing music and women would scream. There's
just
a lot
waste.
of Usher out there, like people just scream and go crazy, and you look at them like, what's wrong? Well, because something in the music and their intentions and when they do it, it causes things to happen. So my grandmother used to always tell me, careful little eyes what you see, careful little ears what you hear. Because what you see, you cannot unsee. And what you hear, you cannot unhear. So you got to protect yourself from those things because they're there. That once you've seen it, you've seen it. And your body is... so when you think about it, and we don't use the word retarded or retardation, like it was a big word before, we don't even use that word, but when you think about what a retardation is, it means that your body and your brain are developing at different speeds. So your body, you may be 40 years old, but your brain is younger, right? Same thing when you look at a kid who develops faster. A lot of times the reason why a young girl develops faster is because she starts to see things earlier in time. And once you start to see things, once you start to see sexual things, well, your body says, oh, we're ready for this. So then your body starts to develop because you've seen it. Or been touched or whatever. Yeah, so, and that's what happens. That's how your body works.
So what's gonna be an alternative title for Sinners?
The alternative,
Given this story.
So initially, the reason why I came up with this is because initially I was thinking Sinners is a horrible title for this film. But then after you spoke about that first scene, I was like, I think it has to do with the music. Because that's what you said. I was like, it does. It's an amazing title for the film because even the vampires were all singing.
Yeah.
The whole thing was
music
singing.
was a thing.
And they were getting you into the music.
And the king of Sinners was a music director in heaven. So
Crazy.
You know what thrown it off to me?
what?
The youngster band, the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
the music playing was not in this time.
Yeah, they established that in the story.
Yes.
Okay, so, like you said earlier, you can play a tune. You can play a tune right now from the 70s and it set me back.
Mm-hmm.
Relate to that.
Yeah.
Then you notice why a lot of older people listen to oldies because it set them back.
Yes.
Because
Well,
they
it was
younger
playing for a mixed audience. It was playing for a mixed audience. There were
Yeah,
young
but-
people, old
We're
people.
talking the blues. That's a whole different line of music right there.
Well, you see what they do in the jig joints with all the different eras. They put
Okay, so
hip
that
hop
was
and
the
everything in
relation
there.
they had going in part of the movie because sinners, they were showing everybody in there was sinning
Yeah.
in the church.
Or maybe that scene showed you that everybody heard something different.
There it is.
That's a good point.
There it is.
Yeah.
Everybody could have heard whatever they needed to
That's the
hear.
vibe of everybody.
Yeah.
Some people were in the vibe of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a very good
Somewhere in
point.
the vibe of the 70s. Somewhere in the vibe of.
Okay, but soul music comes from blues. They come from slavery.
Mm.
The music that he was playing.
Yeah.
And you notice everybody had a different style of dance on that same beat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even
So-
the instruments, like
so-
different
so-
instruments. that are coming
So
through.
I'm coming back to the question.
All right.
Coming back to the question. Give me a title. Alternative title. Alternative title. Come on, man. You guys are film heads, man. No, y'all are
You
film
just did a
heads.
good job, man.
If I'm gonna
mean,
pay you, let me say I'm paying you $100,000 for a new title. Tell me, what will you tell me now? Give me one. Come on, guys.
Could have just straight called it Demons.
Demons.
That's a good one.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen.
can see that.
David Marshall
I
said
can see
demons. I see demons.
It was full of demons.
Yeah.
I know.
It was all of, yeah.
So recently, a friend of mine sent a script and he called it "The Silence We Flee." These days I'm in love with statement titles. So I don't know if there is something.
Summons.
Summons?
Summon, like I
But like summoning.
Yeah, summons.
Good news from the graveyard.
Oh, good news from the graveyard. Good news from the graveyard. I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
summoning or summons. Like
Good news from the
SUMMONS.
Yes. Yeah.
You're a graveyard. That's good.
Good news from the
Oh,
grave.
That's what I just said.
Or news from the grave.
Yeah.
But good news.
yeah.
Good news from the graveyard.
Or blues from the grave. Blues from the dead.
But remember though, it's in a horror area.
That's the thing. Yeah, it has to be genre appropriate.
Something
Yeah.
kind of like, if it matched, you separated something hardcore or something like, because that was a hardcore movie.
So, good news. Final answer, good news from the graveyard.
Yeah.
Final answer,
Summons. Like summons, yeah.
summons. Final answer,
Preacher's Boy. Just kidding.
Preacher's Boy.
No, just kidding. I don't know, like something either like the last song or like the last, like something. I would love to, because to me, like music is a character in this film, and I would if I had to move the title from, because I feel like Sinners now we've established.
Yeah,
we
now
know
I
Sinners
think it
is good.
works. Yeah,
We
yeah.
know Sinners work.
But I think
You know where sinners come from.
I will
like
move
you
it to
said.
something like that, like either like the last song or like something about that last night, basically that happened where everything changes.
So, final answer.
Finance, I'll say the last song. I'm not super happy with that.
So,
but
we gotta.
I know that.
I'm gonna ask the audience. I'm gonna let everybody vote in this one. We have a last song. We have good news from the graveyard, and then we have summons. And let's see.
I like good news.
What you got?
What I got?
Yeah, what you
Yes! What do you got? Yes.
Let me see.
Come on, Jimmy.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see.
See, it's a hard question.
It's a hard question, really. And we're still going to the harder one, which is alternative cast. But
Ooh.
let me see.
Satanic.
Yeah. The ear.
Lucifer.
Maybe the rhythm of silence.
The what?
Rhythm of silence.
The rhythm of silence.
Yeah. I'm trying to find
That's
good.
so philosophical. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find good in silence. Like, if everybody was quiet, maybe there wouldn't have been a problem in the first place. But
Oh my god.
everybody kept talking, everybody kept
I
singing,
know.
and it kept bringing me more troubles and more troubles and more troubles.
Music.
Well, maybe that's the worst title after all. Maybe that's the worst title after all. I'm not even gonna put it in the votes.
Oh my god.
Hey, you heard
But-
what I said that one?
You said what?
Baptize the devil.
Baptize the devil. Okay. All right, we're gonna make the people vote for 3. I'm gonna put mine in there, but it's not part of the. It's not part of the vote. I said the rhythm of silence. That's like, everybody's like, Well, it is what it is. What's gonna be an alternative cast now? I know all the actors and singers.
Cast.
Yeah, because they won. Assemble cast, they won. So what's gonna be an alternative cast? Who else can play?
Like for which roles are you thinking?
No,
For
but
all of them?
for the assemble cast, we had the preacher's boy, We had Michael B. Jordan's role. We have Wumi Musako.
So you're thinking who we would suggest for all of those?
For
Or any
those
specific
roles.
ones?
Which one stands out for you? For Michael B. Jordan's role, for example, who else can play Stack and Smoke? Smoke and what's it?
Yeah, Smoke and Stack, yeah.
Stack and Smoke. Who else?
You kill it.
Idris.
Idris Elba.
Idris.
The other
Damson.
Idris. Yes.
Damson, the
That's
younger
the one from-
Idris.
the younger one, yeah.
Well, he's gonna need to spend some time in the gym. He needs to bulk up. Maybe he needs to bulk up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has a range for it.
Yeah, he has a range. The
He has
acting
a,
range,
he has a range for it. So who else can play Michael B. Jordan? Who else?
Come back to me. But
What?
it's hard. Like the way my brain works, it's very hard to see an alternative when something was well done.
When it was well
Because
done.
I'm like, no need to just. So my brain is just like fighting it. You don't need another one. But,
I see.
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, what's his name? The guy who played his dad in Black Panther.
Oh, Chadwick Boseman.
No. His dad. He was T'Chaka's brother.
What is that?
Yeah, he played Michael B. Jordan's dad in Black Panther. I think
Oh,
of his name.
yeah. Sterling.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think he can pull it off. I've seen him in some.
He's good. Yeah.
I've seen him in a few roles that have stretched him in some of those different directions. And I've seen him in roles in which he was slightly on the more silly side. And I'm seeing some roles where it's slightly on the, and he can carry.
He's older, though.
Who's the
He is older.
mainstream?
What?
He's
Huh?
over.
What'd you say?
What movie you saying?
I was talking about Black Panther. The first
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Who's the action hero now? Who's the mainstream action hero?
I have a young.
Like a black action?
yeah, like-
I have a young.
We don't have a lot of them. Right?
Yeah. And Chad was old too.
The funny thing is, the next character or the next cast I'm gonna talk about, you're gonna have maybe like 5 options for him.
Okay.
I think so. Delta Slim.
Oh.
That generation, they were all really good. I can think of 1 or 2. I
Yeah,
think
what are you thinking?
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
That
Samuel Jackson.
that would have
Samuel
actually would have
Jackson.
been fun to see him in that role.
Samuel Jackson would have killed the role too, as well.
Yeah,
And then let me see who else.
that was a good one.
There's so many of them. Eddie Murphy would have absolutely murdered that role.
You think so?
Eddie Murphy?
I don't know.
He's good when he plays straight. He doesn't play straight often though. He's really goofy typically.
Yeah.
But he does like Mr. Church. He was really good at that. Yeah.
How about this guy?
You think Jamie Foxx could pull it off?
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx could.
Absolutely killed that role.
Yeah.
which
Fox.
role?
Jamie Foxx. Delta Slim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he would have.
Delta Slim.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying. Cuba Goodings. What do you guys think about Cuba Goodings for that role?
He's out.
I like Kuba. He ain't been around for a minute, but I like him.
Yeah, he's what?
Yeah, his court stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they blackballed him.
Okay.
He in fact he in court.
How about the ladies?
I like Tessa Thompson
For which role?
for the light skinned girl.
Yep.
Yeah, what's her name?
So,
Absolutely.
I don't remember her name.
Tessa, she a killer. Omari could play Omari Hardwick.
Amari Hadley.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Amari is also very good.
Yeah.
Also very good. But you guys know that role, ordinary. I don't know what it is. There are some actors you just don't know they have that kind of range. I'm sorry. If I was the casting director, I wouldn't have thought that Michael B. Jordan could pull it off. What I'm saying here is there are some actors that you don't really know what they can do.
The thing is, like,
And he did so well.
at this point, Ryan Coogler has worked with Michael B. Jordan so much
And they have a reading.
that I feel like he probably knows his range more than most people do.
So when you say,
You know?
so when you say pull the roll off, is Mike getting an award for this? If you could only give 3 awards for this movie for actors, would he be top 3?
Yes, I think so.
So which actors right now are up for awards for this movie?
Definitely Sammy.
So he's up, brand new guy, right? He's up for 1.
Yeah.
Who else is up for 1? Anybody else?
In that whole
But
cast.
the funny thing is, I would have casted Damson Idris for the young fella.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm,
I don't know.
I I would have had him for Michael B. Jordan's character.
Yes.
And I don't know if the
Definitely
muscles are necessary. I like the muscles of Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're necessary for the character. That's why I like. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the Rambo scene in the end,
Yeah,
right?
but that's because of
That's
what he looks
the
like.
Rambo scene.
They said let's put this in here because you look like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they was like you need to bulk up for this, right? Because he bulked up for Creed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it was great shots, but I don't know if it was necessary for the character.
How about the motherly role that this lady played? Wumi Musaku, I've forgotten the character role. The spiritual lead kind of.
Yeah, the one that was with
I mean,
yes.
If you want to go older, Viola Davis.
Everybody.
I was
That's
literally
a,
thinking that. Yeah.
I think Viola Davis is a cheat. Anybody,
Yeah.
it's a cheat code.
Yeah, she came back from Woman King and was like, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that Viola Davis. Let's
That's
move
my
on.
number one.
We gotta leave her out of the conversation because
Yeah.
it's like trying to cast somebody and then you go this guy. What's his name? The guy that did Titanic.
Oh, Leo.
Leo.
Yeah.
That's a cheat code.
Yeah.
You can think of any role and just throw him in there. so I think that's a Viola Davis situation. So let me see. Let's talk about the younger ones. Even on Woman King, I think they have like 3 other people that can play the role. What's her name? The lady. In
Which
Woman
one?
King.
The...
I forgot her name now.
The younger one, the main character. Not her, right?
Not
Either
the
older
One of the soldiers, right?
one of the shows. So
Yeah.
And exactly.
Well, I can't think of her name.
Yep.
Yeah.
And exactly.
But you can't remember the name.
Yeah.
How is this happening? We know this person, we can see her in the role, but we can't remember her name. This is what happens in casting rooms sometimes.
Yeah.
And then everybody's talking, just give me a name, give me a name. And you're like, I know the name. How do I? But we can just check it online, man. It's so disappointing that I can't remember the name right now because I really want to talk about this so that I can put a picture up in the edit. But it is what it is, man. I don't want to stretch this too long.
No, Michael B. Jordan. Did he kill the role? Because that's the question.
I think he killed the role.
You said he killed the role, so does he deserve an award for the role?
So
Sometimes
Is he top
awards.
3?
Wait, sometimes awards are subjective. Art is subjective. For me, in my opinion, I think that the role he played, he was able to make us see a difference in the two characters. It's a difficult thing to do. The mannerisms, the body language between Stark and Smoke. I think he has to. I think there was a difference. You know, it was easy for us to spot it.
So I think he did a great role with the role. Was it the best anyone would have done with it? That's obviously up for debate. But I think so. I've seen him in other films before, being in the same range as the twins. So it wasn't necessarily like he tapped into anything new to execute them. It was more so Michael B. Jordan within his range has played each side before. He just had to do both for this film. So was it hard? Yes, obviously, because he had to be both of them. But I don't think he necessarily stretched him in terms of he had to become more than what we've seen him be on screen before.
You know how you watch a film and an actor says, "Hey man, it took me months to get out of that role." Is that going to happen with this?
No.
Because he stepped into 2 roles basically.
I'm gonna tell you. I think that. So I know the backstory about Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler.
Oh, okay.
I worked on Fruitvale Station,
Oh, really?
and so
Really?
You're from
Such a privilege. Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, yes. Oh my God.
let me tell you. So I work with both of them, and the reason why Michael B. Jordan is on Ryan Coogler's film is because Ryan did a short film when he was in college. He did a short film, and he got Mike. He said, "Hey, I want you to be in this film. I ain't got much money, but I promise you, if it does well, I'll put you in everything I do."
Oh wow.
And it's a gentleman's agreement, right?
Yes. Now, if you think about everything Ryan Coogler has done, who's been in everything that he's done?
The same guy.
B. Jordan.
So, what's happening is we have an issue. The issue is we don't have a superstar in this age range.
Yeah.
There is none.
How about this guy that caught issues with his girlfriend?
Jonathan Major. Right. So he was also Ryan kind of brought him in too. So
Do you guys think he would have done an equally good job?
I don't know because I didn't see his film that's up for awards right now. I haven't seen it yet.
The bodybuilding.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't
sorry
seen
for
that.
distracting.
Absolutely crushed it.
Yeah, did he? That's what I hear,
my gosh.
and so I'm excited to see it. They're gonna send me movies in a minute because I have to vote. But with going back to Ryan is that what my thought is they're trying to make Ryan the superstar, and they're trying everything they can
To make Ryan?
not Ryan. Sorry,
Mike.
to make Mike a superstar. So they put him in Creed. They put him in this. They put him in Black Panther. And when you look at this film, like, did we watch this movie because Mike was in it, or did we watch this movie because it was a Ryan movie?
Oh,
That's the question you gotta ask yourself. So my thought is because Ryan's in it. Because Mike has done 2 films without Ryan since he has been with Ryan, and they didn't do well. One, Denzel Washington was part of, right? So we're gonna go there. So then we're gonna ask, well, what was it Stack and Smoke? Was Smoke and Stack, did they need to be twins? Was it pivotal to the story?
but I think he wrote it like that.
But my question is it pivotal to the story? I don't
Brothers,
think so.
yes, but not.
Yeah,
not
brothers, but not twins. My thought is, let's make you twins and show the world you can do something else because we're trying to push you to be a superstar.
Dang, that is. Woo.
Which is why you said, I've seen this character. He didn't go anywhere spectacular. Wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he was bad at all.
It was entertaining to watch.
But, yeah, it was entertaining. But when I look at this film and I say, who are the top 3 actors in this movie? Smoke and Stack, to me, is not one of the top 3. And he played 2. Right? So, out of 3 characters, I will put the young boy. I will put the girl.
Delta Slim.
Yeah, in Delta Slim, right? Those 3, in my opinion, will be the top 3. And understand that Mike played 2 characters. He's not in the top. Smoke or Stack is not the
I was
top.
telling you about Delta Slim. His eyes, he looked like he hasn't slept for 4 days.
Right.
In that scene,
Yeah.
he looked so stressed.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, is this makeup? Is this performance?
Right.
You just realize it's performance.
Yeah, and then my was it when you have one extra one? My honorable mention would be Big Boy, the one, the big dude, the
Oh, Comrade.
yeah, Cornbread. That was my honorable mention.
Fucking
Comrade was
Comrade.
legit.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you look at it, it's like, well, and people are saying, yeah, you know, Mike did this thing, and I think Mike did.
Who's gonna play Comrade in the industry?
I
I don't
Cornbread.
know, man.
I like Cornbread.
I don't know. He was perfect for that.
Yeah, I think he was perfect
Absolutely perfect.
because you like him enough.
Yeah.
You know, because he's friendly and he's a big guy and he's, yeah, I don't know. I think anybody else, like, you know,
Remember this guy that did the Butler?
Butler.
not Forrest Whitaker.
No.
He's way too old.
He's old.
And then I would think the only other guy I could think of that's his size kind of would be the guy that played Notorious, but he's too menacing. I don't think that's good for the
or
role.
maybe the guy who played Mbaku in
Oh,
Black
yeah.
Panther.
Black Panther.
Too, but he's also menacing.
He is very, yeah.
He's like,
A little
scary.
intimidating, yeah.
Should it be fun? Yeah, so that's why I think he was perfect.
There's this guy that was in what's this film now?
We're just mentioning so many movies. We don't know any names.
I can't remember the name. It was in this Apple TV show, Dope Thief. It wasn't this Apple TV show, Dope Thief.
Adaptive. I don't know.
Dope Thief.
Dope.
Dope
Oh, dope.
Thief.
Dope team.
Yeah,
Oh.
Dope Thief. Oh man, I guess I'll just do editing magic. I'll do editing magic. The play what now?
Playing Life. Oh, I like him too.
Yeah, man. You want your cornbread?
Yeah, I like him too.
Talk about this dude. You're gonna know his name, man. You're Hollywood.
He's a Collateral too with Jacob Fox.
You're Hollywood.
Oh, I know him too. Yeah,
You
he
know
was
him.
in. Yeah, he's also in.
Let me see.
This guy.
He's also in.
Oh, he's in like the Marvel movie that came out. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a time ago.
I
Yeah.
can't think of his name, but yeah.
What's his name?
But I think he's also too menacing.
It's 2 minutes.
He's,
I think
he's
so.
definitely a minister.
Yeah.
Like all the roles I've seen him in,
Mm-hmm.
he's been like he wasn't in like the show with Childish Gambino.
Yes, that's the song I was trying to think of that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
And he was like a rapper in that show.
Yeah.
It's Brand Tyrell.
Good.
Oh, he's great.
Finally, I want to talk about the most important part of this film:
Okay.
the music, the sound design.
Right.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I think the music was just authentic. It was it felt real. It didn't feel like somebody's playing to a. It's almost like that's the music of the era. Like that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
I
seems
love it. I mean, I told you, like, to me, like, music is like basically a character in the story, because like even the how loud the music is, like how fast the music is, literally dictates the pacing of it. Like it was beautiful. It felt like I was watching a musical.
That's what I wanted to say. Sometimes it felt like a musical.
And in a musical, the music it's not just to make things pretty. Like
Yeah.
you use it to deliver dialogues, to deliver storylines, and it felt like the music moved things forward.
That scene, that juke joint scene, I had
When everything was on fire.
Yeah, everything-
when everything was on fire and
Beautiful.
goosebumps, and I was seeing people. I was seeing West Africa. I was seeing modern day hip hop era. I was seeing the what's it called now? The blues era where the people were dressed and all that. It was just a beautiful.
And even the Irish,
The Irish music too.
Oh, that that.
If that I was,
When they were dancing on the moon.
I know, yeah, the scene outside.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, like there's so much thought that went into the choices of the music, the choices of the
I'm
song.
telling you, man.
And so it was very intentional, and it felt like it. It felt like it was very
It felt like-
purposeful. It didn't feel random.
Totally enjoyed it. They nailed it. As far as I'm concerned, everything worked for me. Everything worked. Let's just have that as a baseline.
Yeah.
The sound design, the performances, the wardrobe,
What was good? Yeah.
the locations.
Mm.
The locations. And do you know that it felt like this can be shot in a studio?
It
They
was like
contain-
four locations. It was
locations.
very
To be, yeah.
Yeah, so it was not everywhere like that. So it feels like a story that you can decide to do tomorrow. You can decide to make it tomorrow, you know, and it is what it is, man. And was there?
You take it back in the day, sure.
Yeah, it put you in that
I wonder
spot.
if they use Tyler Perry studios. Because I know he has a lot of sets on his studio that kind of look like some of the locations, but I have no idea. I'll have to look it up.
Man,
That's why my brain went first.
I know that it was shot in Atlanta.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Probably.
It may have
I don't know. Sorry. I'm thinking it was shot in Atlanta. Nobody shoots anything in LA anymore.
Right.
So if it's in Atlanta, maybe it can be Tyler Perry studio. We're gonna look it up to find out. But totally enjoyed the film. Any final words?
Man, if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Oh, absolutely.
Gotta see it.
There's a reason this film is still trending. In 2026, we're still talking about Sinners. There is a reason it is still trending.
Oscar
It's a
season.
masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Until I see you next time. I don't know if I will always have Big Spence. He's a cameo.
He's a celebrity.
He's a cameo guy. He's a cameo guy. I don't know if I'll still have him next time when we do this. But my brother here, all the way from Congo, here, doing it. Big stuff. Here, we're still gonna come again, check another movie out, and I'm still gonna try to bring Big Spence again because I totally enjoy this insight. So
Absolutely. Oh,
let's see.
So weird.
Let's see. So if you want us to talk about another project, what will it be? Let it come from you so that we can call you in.
What's new? What's good? Have you seen I don't know. There's so many. The Denzel Washington movie. You guys talked about that one yet?
Highest to lowest?
Yeah, you talked about that already?
Oh no, we haven't talked.
I'm down.
I've seen it. I'm ready to talk about that.
First round,
Spike Lee.
Okay. Yeah.
It's Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Yeah, we're talking highest to lowest. Spike Lee. A Spike Lee joint. Let's go, man. What's the name of his studio again? Something on the move. 40
acres.
48.
And a mule.
And a mule.
Yep.
Yes, let's go.
Hey, no trouble.
Trouble. All right, thank you guys. See you next time. Thank you so much, guys. It's beautiful. Hey,
Man, you're so knowledgeable.
Bro.
I love listening to you. Oh my
man.
god.
Big Spence.
Yeah, it felt like I was in music school all over again.
Yeah.
I was like.